Therefore, it's
I'm
not
going to
here.
call a meeting to order, and I will observe that we have member Iris Keeling, member Jeff Shelton, member Lisa Abbott, and member Richard Martin present. And we have as guests Dana Kerr and Mike Kornman. And
Lisa.
Brianna is the tech person with us. Is that right? Or who
No, she's with the auditor's office, and
Okay,
Dana Kerr is a member of the commission. He's
That's
just got a non-voting.
Right, he's a non-voting member, right. And Lisa Ridge from staff and Jeff Cockle from staff. And then a couple of people from TSD. Okay. First item on the agenda is a State Road 46 corridor TIF residential TIF update. And Jeff, I assume you're leading this?
Yes, and I got a couple different updates. One is I have reached out to Steve Kreider about the costs for the kind of the sewer and those kind of utilities. He doesn't have a number for me yet, but he's having his people work on that, and hopefully I'll have that in short order.
Okay.
The second thing I want to update is I spoke with the commissioners about the residential TIF, and they want to set up a meeting with the Redevelopment Commission, the commissioners, and the Affordable Housing Commission to kind of talk about these types of issues all together, so to make sure everybody's on the same page. And moving forward, I haven't reached out to the Affordable Housing Commission because I was going to ask Lisa Abbott who the president was so that I could contact them. But those are kind of, and then I guess the third, maybe more general update would be, and this maybe not be the State Road 46 corridor, but Lisa and I have talked about the West Side TIF and the revised cash flow. I think Lisa is expecting to get some information about the cost of right-of-way yet this month, and hopefully have a. And then we work with
Jeff. Brianna, can you mute yourself? Oh, will the host mute her, please? Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
And I think we want to get some information about the cost of some of the right-of-way for the project that is the overpass, Sunrise Reading Extension, Vernal Pike Connector, and then get some of our projects. We have two projects going on finalized to kind of give a better actual cash flow number and have that put into that cash flow projections by
Right.
Financial Solutions Group.
Right. Have we talked at all with the assessor about potential changes in assessment as a result of the pandemic?
I touched base with her after, I want to say, the September meeting. And at that point, she was essentially, I think, a little bit exasperated by all the work that she had been doing and been done. And that she, at that point in time, she probably, she kind of just indicated that at this point, she wouldn't have a really good answer. I was planning on checking back with her again prior to the beginning of the year.
Right.
I think it probably slows down for her November, December, and checking back with her to see where she was at then.
Yeah, because I mean, if our assessments go down a lot,
Right.
There's a lag between when we set our rates and when we get the assessments done and when we get cash out of it, and could be a tightrope that we have to walk in here. So just keep up on all of it, I think, is the thing. So you're going to go ahead and reach out to the housing people. And
Yes.
The president of the chair of the committee is Vox Booker.
Okay.
And I happen to be the secretary. And our meeting is Friday at 8 a.m.
Okay. So I will make sure I reach out to Vox before then.
right, so you're going to have to coordinate with 3 different groups of people to see if we can find a meeting time where we can be present. I guess it should be who needs to be at the meeting. since we would be the ones initiating this and the commissioners would have to be the ones approving it, that the housing folks seem like they probably may not all have to be there, but we would like to make sure that a sufficient number of them are there.
Right.
Lisa doing double duty. I don't know how many people on that commission. Lisa, can you give me an idea of how many people there should really be involved in the initial discussion?
Well, I think that, let's see, Doris Sims is on the committee as well, as she's the head of the Housing and Neighborhood Development Department at the city.
Right.
I think that her input would be very valuable. Mary Morgan from the chamber is also on the committee. I think, again, that would be really valuable input. Will Smith, Kathy Crabtree. They all bring different things to the table. I think we should probably, Jeff, maybe schedule it during a redevelopment commission meeting, or maybe directly before or after a meeting, and then invite them to come, because that's at the end of the workday. The commissioners meeting is in the middle of the day, which I think would be harder for some of them to attend who have other employment obligations.
Okay.
If they know enough ahead of time, they probably can make it if we make it at 4 o'clock or something, or later. I have a question though, Richard, for everybody. Do we have a timeline that we need to make sure we deal with this? Like between now and December 15th, or between now and January 15th?
I don't think we have any timeline constraints. The
Okay.
only thing that where time is involved is that the year in which something gets proposed sets when the assessment of eligibility will occur. So
Okay,
it's the end of the prior year. So now it would be the end of 2019. If we did it this year, if we do it next year, it'll be the end of 2020. And I don't know how much construction has occurred this year that it might really have affected. I'm thinking probably not a whole lot, but it's that's the only thing that I'm aware of. Is there anything else you can think of, Jeff?
Well, I think we've got really two different scenarios. And I think one scenario is that we maintain it in the current 46 corridor TIF, which I think has an end date. So, each year you push it beyond that, it was a year that, you lose that revenue for. I really don't think that's a huge issue, because this is not going to get started this year. I mean, we will still have to make a presentation to the affected school board and get their approvals. So I don't see this as being a short turnaround. I think we had talked about doing some kind of study next year as well,
Right.
for that State Road 46 corridor TIF district.
Right.
So, I don't think we're pushing up on any deadlines by the
Okay.
end of 2020. I guess my goal at this point would be to try to get something in place in 2021, before the end of the year 2021, for I think the reasons Richard had stated. My memory is that, and I should have looked this up before, is that TIF district ends in 2032 or 2033. Again, I think when we looked at the numbers, we didn't think there would be a sufficient bonding capacity for the TIF itself to create the need to bond, because the revenues just weren't there. But if we were looking at a
Right.
broader entire TIF revenue to do a bond that would include, all the projects we talk about, the finishing off of Curry Pike to, I guess it's Arlington, and some of those, there were 3 or 4 different road projects we were talking about, as well as this. Looking that as a package and seeing what we could do there would make some sense. But again, I don't think we're pushing up against any deadlines.
well, I want to make sure that we address that, because, money time goes away from us really fast, and people don't have much time right now for anything, it seems like. And so we have to deal with whatever time people have, and we can establish a date that would be nice, sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well, I think we just, let's try and set up a meeting so at least we can discuss things with the group and kind of set some priorities and
Right.
establish some criteria. Because we can have a more general discussion, because not only is there this opportunity, but residential TIFs in general were something we should probably think about, how they fit
Right.
into county governance.
So if I propose to the Affordable Housing Commission and the county commissioners that maybe the third Wednesday in December at 4:30, kind of the regular meeting time for this.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
That sounds, I think it's the 16th, but I can't see my calendar. Yeah, 16th.
Jeff, I will bring it up and just give them a heads up on Friday.
That'd be
Great.
great.
Good.
Okay.
And I plan to get an email out to Vox tomorrow, so he
Okay.
should know it as well.
All right,
Okay.
great.
All right. We're done on that one now. Any last comments? All right, moving on. Item number 3, we have minutes for the previous meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
I move approval.
I second. I read them. They were good.
I did too.
Okay. Can we have a voice vote on these, Jeff, or do you need to do a roll call?
Everything has to be a roll call
Roll
vote.
call. Yep. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Call the
Commissioner
question.
Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Abbott,
I wasn't there, but yes.
Commissioner
That's right.
Kiesling,
Yes, I was there part of the time.
Commissioner Shelton.
Yes, I was there.
Motion is
was there.
approved 4-0.
Okay. Item number 4, claims. We have had submitted, if I can get it up on my screen.
Yeah, I saw it, but I don't
We
remember what
have
it is.
only one claim.
Yeah.
This is from WSP for Curry Smith Woodyard for $10,080. Either not much happened last month, or they're gonna hit us hard in December.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
So actually, it was probably a slower month for WSP. We have 6 of the 7 parcels secured. We actually just reached agreement in the last 2 weeks with the final property owner. Our legal department is writing up the paperwork for that to get that signed, get that taken care of. We'll have all the right-of-way cleared. So the next step, utility plans are, so WSP sent out to the utility companies that are located within the area to receive their work plans. And then we are ready to go to letting on this in the spring.
Okay, and all we gotta do is find another $2 million, right?
Well, that'll be our next discussion.
Okay, is there any other comment or question about the claims?
I move approval of the claim.
Second,
We have a motion and a second for approval of the claims in the amount of $10,080. Jeff, please call the roll.
Commissioner Martin,
Yes.
Commissioner Abbott,
Yes.
Commissioner Kiesling,
yes.
Commissioner Shelton.
Yes.
Motion is approved 4-0.
All right, that brings us to item 5, staff comment. Lisa, or you want to go first, or you want Jeff to go first?
So I'm sorry, my dog always starts to bark when it's time for me to talk. I can give you, I was hoping to have the right-of-way numbers back for Vernal Pike Connector Road. I did talk to our consultant. That's taking a little bit longer than normal just because of the magnitude of the businesses and the impact of the businesses and making sure that the appraisals are all correct. So I should get those. I would think it probably, I'll probably get them next week after this meeting. So Profile Parkway, I can give you a really good update on that one. All the curb and gutter, except for the tie-in at Curry, was completed this week. All the street lights have been installed. The new signal poles and controller installed, waiting on AT&T relocation. Half of the roundabout center's textured. We chose a textured concrete for that roundabout. If you've seen something similar down at Rogers Street and Gordon Pike, that's the kind of concrete that we have chosen to try and stay with that kind of theme. It's not exact, I can't exactly match it, but it's very, very similar. So they have the textured concrete for the splitter islands. The truck aprons will follow soon. And then they're working to get surface placed on Gates Drive late next week or later this week. Gates Drive will be open. And then the remainder of it will depend on, whether or not how the weather cooperates. But that's what we're working toward, is having that open by the end of the year. So that's still on target. If there's any other projects you want an update on, I'd be happy to fill you in.
So you're gonna beat 17th Street, huh?
No comment. I thought that was actually scheduled. We have meetings, and I thought that was actually supposed to open last week, and I haven't caught up with
Wasn't on the weekend.
what has happened
My
there.
daughter said she drove through there today.
Oh,
You did?
They've opened it
Okay,
up.
because I knew they were really close. I knew it was supposed to be around right after the 9th. So I was expecting it to open anytime.
I'll try it again next time.
Try it again. And I feel sorry for the city. I think they have compassion now for what we went through with Fullerton Pike Phase 1. So
Yeah.
Those poor souls.
I do. I feel I have the utmost sympathy for them for having to have a project go on that long afterwards, because it's not any fun.
Yeah.
No,
Old roads with lots of infrastructure, updating them is a
oh,
nightmare.
it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I've been on that road many times, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I'm being told I got a text. It is open.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Okay. Hallelujah. All right. Jeff, you're up.
Well, I think I've given the bulk of my updates already when we discussed the previous agenda item. I would just, because I see Mike Kornman's on here, I would just kind of reiterate that we did talk a little bit about the Ellettsville and the Richland Township Fire Station and their request for $30,000 to help with the driveway. When we talked about that, I think the RDC wanted an updated cash flow analysis done with some changes made based upon some of our current projects and updates. And I kind of gave the update that we're not ready for that yet because of some right-of-way issues and wanting to close out the Hart Street Road project and the profile extension project, and that would be coming either in December or January. So I think that's when, for Mike's information, that I think that's when we'll probably look at that and see if we have the available funds, and then have that discussion on if it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
When is settlement? When do we find out what settlement was?
The settlement typically occurs mid-December.
Okay.
COVID has put everything else in the world off track, but I'm not expecting it to put settlement off track. But it's got to be done typically by the end of the year, or we'll have some conversations
Sure.
at this future meeting as to.
Be interesting to see how much they come short on payments that just weren't made for one reason or another.
right.
And I don't know if we'll have all that information by the December 16th meeting, but we definitely should have that all by the January meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is that it on staff comments then?
So I
Okay.
had.
Do the commissioners have any comments to make?
I don't.
I do not.
Lisa? She.
No, I was shaking my head, but if you can't see me, no. Unless you want to talk
Okay.
about the housing on West 3rd Street.
Yeah.
Jim and I attended that meeting last night. It looks like there's good support for it, but that's all I got.
Yeah, okay. All right. Is there anybody in the public that really wants to holler at us about something? We'll be glad to listen. Seeing no one step up, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I second,
Second.
All in favor signify by leaving, I think.
yes.
All right, bye,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Everybody
Happy
stay
Thanksgiving.
everybody.
Be safe. Be
Stay
safe.
safe.
Be safe.